Rubber Ducky here. Welcome to episode 17 of the German campaign in Close Combat 3. We're going solidly on the offensive, and you should too. So, click the subscribe button, like the video, and turn on notifications. My maneuvering and control has come a long way. Let's see if I can keep it going with increased pressure. Following the catastrophe at Kharkov, the southern Russian forces were woefully short of armored vehicles and personnel. As the Germans thrust eastward, the Russian army offered little resistance. Unlike the previous summer, there were no great encirclements. Vast territories were gobbled up by the racing panzers, but most of the countryside had been laid waste and the Russian army eluded the Germans throughout the long hot summer. By autumn, the Germans had cleared the Crimea, recaptured Rostov, and thrust spearheads far into the Caucasus and the outskirts of Stalingrad. Stalingrad was an important industrial center and focus of prestige for Stalin himself. Set along the banks of the Volga, it was also the cornerstone of the Volga River line. Held, it would ensure the Germans went no further. In the streets of Stalingrad, both sides focused their energies and resources in brutal house-to-house, building-to-building struggle. The German advantage in mobility and armored doctrine were of little use here. Instead, it was a clash of wills and resources. Transfixed by the unprecedented ferocity of the struggle for Stalingrad, the Germans failed to appreciate the precariousness of their position. The thrust towards Stalingrad had stretched the German flanks beyond safety, and the Romanian, Italian, and Hungarian troops were used to plug the holes, backed up by a small number of German armored forces. As Stalingrad absorbed more and more German frontline troops, the Russians secretly amassed enormous forces on the exposed Axis flanks. In November, as the city fighting reached a fevered pitch, these forces were unleashed. Within days, the Axis troops were annihilated and the Russian pincers met and isolated the German Sixth Army. The Germans immediately began planning a counteroffensive, but with their troops stretched across most of the southern Soviet Union, it was difficult to concentrate sufficient forces. By the time the relief attempt was made, it was too little too late. The German Sixth Army was obliterated in the ruins of Stalingrad. October 30th, 1942. The Bolsheviks have one last toehold in the northern part of Stalingrad. The Red Barricades Gun Factory. Your new command is attached to the 389th Infantry Division. Your objective is to clear the factory, burn or blast the Soviets out room by room if necessary. You'll be allocated the assault teams you need for close quarters fighting. Victory is within sight. Push the enemy into the Volga and the city will be ours. The summer's fighting has put you on the outskirts of Stalingrad. Your objective is to drive the enemy from the Bolshevist leader's namesake city and into the Volga River. Your command is attached to the 389th Division. You can assemble an infantry-based force augmented by armor and heavy support teams. This sector's terrain is not favorable to an armor-based force, so keep any armor in a supporting role. You'll want teams good at close quarters fighting in the maze of buildings running east and west through the middle of the sector. The 4-story apartment complex in the northern quadrant dominates this sector. If the enemy deploys his forces in these buildings, you should be able to pin them down, flank them, and then destroy them in detail. A barrage will coincide with your attack, targeting 3 points near the center of the sector. You have the stronger force. Prove it by crushing the enemy. So, we've mostly got our fighting force put together. We need to refit a couple teams, and then I want to upgrade to some more shock troops if the opportunity is there. If we have them, I wouldn't mind getting 1 or 2 more squads. So, yeah, we'll do Waldo. We'll swap Waldo into shock troops. And then we will need to rename Waldo. So I'm kind of tempted to bring back Quellis. Now, my only reservation there is with Quellis, we can't afford to lose a whole team of shock troops. So, that could be a thing. We don't have any more shock troops available. So I'm thinking we keep Munat and then let's maybe upgrade Steiner into an MG. I like the recon, but I think if we've got 2 MG42s, that gives us a little bit more firepower so that they can stay back, they can do their thing, and then Rambo, Garcia, and Quellis can do the heavy lifting. If we take the recon and we've got a lot of building-to-building fighting, they're going to be kind of weak with only 3 guys. So this team, though, the MG42, they are going to stay as Steiner, and we will, I think, leave it like that. I think we're actually pretty set. The only thing is maybe look through and see if there's anything that's worth upgrading to, but I'm pretty happy with this loadout right here. Since we do still have 19 points, maybe we look at like Graf von Bonhoff, see if there's something we could upgrade to from the AT gun. We need 47. Wow. Okay, never mind. So to get another 88 would be 47. So I think that went out the window real fast. So yeah, we're okay with this. We'll start with this and we'll go from there. They're not doing much. Oh, there we go. They are. Now they're shooting. They're shooting at Jorge. Jorge can't actually see him. Smoke. Smoke wherever we can smoke. Jorge is getting picked off. Keep going, Jorge. Keep going. Put those rounds down range. Alright, that's helping. Maybe should have left Jorge back at home, but kind of just brought everybody along for the ride. Alright, try and get in there, guys. Oh, wow, they're throwing grenades at him and stuff. Garcia, stand up, do your thing, drop some mortars on these boys. Oh man, Rambo's taking some heat. I had time, maybe I should have stayed back. They weren't shooting at him, so I kind of just went for it, but I don't even know where the shots came from. Rambo got hit, but there's no one in there. Okay, Garcia's holding them down a little bit. We're going to get Rambo to come around their backside. Oh yeah, they're just in the corner. Let's keep going. That wall's in the way. We're going to have to move them over. Alright, I could have been a little bit more patient with that assault. So live and learn. We'll be better on the next operation. Or in the next battle. Alright, you guys engage. Oh, there's guys right outside the apartments. You see them? They're okay. They're not really interacting with us. KV-1 sitting there. As long as we've got Garcia kind of keeping them pinned down, I'm fine with Rambo maybe trying to do something about the guys outside the building, but they are starting to pull back a little bit. We don't have any support for them, but I didn't really want to bring Brunner up. Now that we know what it looks like maybe he could have come up close enough to keep them in the circle. But let's get these guys annihilated right here. We are getting shot at from the next building to the south. Okay, those guys are dead. We got another team lined up. We're going to pull these guys back up here. Alright. If we can get them in this little room right here, try and kill these guys right below them. Oh, guys in the building to the east as well. This is going to be a brutal fight across. Alright, we're going to start moving Quellis. He's going to take this southern route. And we know that support has been an issue. So I think we're going to move Steiner up into that two-story where Quellis was. And then we're going to move Steiner along with Quellis in just a moment once they clear the route. Garcia, you can move up and take this building as well. Keep those 120 millimeters dropping on the guys in the southern building. I love those 120s. Alright, pull that down just a little bit. Rambo's taking some hardcore casualties. That was a live and learn moment, so I don't need to do that again that way. We'll be a little bit more cautious. Alright, shoot. There we go. That guy's down. Okay. If we can get Garcia set, he might be able to engage this team across the way. And that'll buy us some time to maneuver and figure out a plan. I do want to shock them with some mortars. Maybe if we can get them rattled, they'll pull back. Because that MG infantry squad, that's going to be like 8 guys. What is it? Is it 8 or 9 or something? It's a huge squad. So everything on this building, everything we got, just drop it on them. Rockets, mortars, everything. This is where I'm a little bit more comfortable slowing down. We took some casualties. We didn't want to do that, and I totally screwed up. We took another one. Get low, guys. We do have Quellis maneuvering down around the south, so if we need to flank and come up and take the slower approach, we can do that. We just need to preserve these guys, and we can't run them straight across that open field in between the buildings. So we'll keep dropping all these mortars. We're almost out of rockets, so that's fine. We'll let John Matrix use what he's got here. That's the last one. And then if these guys keep taking pot shots, that's fine, but we don't want them to risk anything. So I think it's time that we go down south. Let's just move that. Let's go down south and get Quellis doing his thing. Uh-oh, hold on. Garcia, we got some panic going on. Munat, I think we run him up here and get him into that building as well. but I don't want to just go straight for it because we don't know what's in the 4-story to the south that was shooting at us. That guy's coming. Oh, he surrendered. Okay. Move up there. All right. Things have mellowed out just a little bit. Much better. All right. Muna, you're about ready to move in. We'll just take our time, make sure he doesn't get shot unnecessarily. There's that one guy behind the 4-story. We're not worried about him, but he might be part of a larger squad. We don't know what that is. All right, back to the plan. We are moving Quellis up. So we're going to start moving him. Steiner's going to move with him to support. And I think we'll move Stransky up as well because they're going to need a commander. We know how important that is. But having some extra firepower with Stransky and Steiner, I think will make this a decent mobile force down in the south. We can get them to kind of wrap around and come up from the south through some of the buildings. Maybe pick off that guy as well as whoever else may be in between them. Oh, we be shooting. Brunner, move up, get them back in your circle. Hopefully that'll calm the men that are panicking up there. And yeah, we'll leave the 88 at home, I think, for the next couple battles. That was brutal. I brought him. I figured he could use his big gun as kind of an artillery sort of situation, just like put rounds on target, but that did not work well. All right. Maybe leapfrog between these buildings, and then we'll find that tank. We do have a tank up here, so we'll look for that so we don't run into it when we're not expecting it. Oh man, they saw us coming. They knew we had it. So, major victory. The Russians fled. We gained control of the area and we're going to advance. We took high casualties relative to what we could have. I know I screwed up there, but even still, we have 9 dead, 6 wounded. Not terrible. We only did get 7 killed on their side and 9 wounded. We also took 9 prisoners. So when you start looking at that and say that it's, 25, that 25 is not too bad compared to our 15. It's just we didn't even have to have 15, so that was my fault. So far, still a decisive defeat. We have a lot more to prove as far as the operation goes. That was not a big enough push in order to turn the tables at the operational level. But let's take a look in here. It looks like Brunner stayed back, so nothing happened there. Stransky started to move up at the end, but nothing really there. Rambo, this is where he took some casualties, and they're all actually dead. So 2 men alive, both gained experience, 1 gained some morale. Garcia, only 2 dead, 2 incapacitated, 3 alive. That did not look like it was going to go that way, but morale, leadership, experience, all increasing. Quellis, just some experience gain. They were moving along. Steiner pulled up and carried his machine gun around, so apparently he got some experience for that. Poor Jorge, man. The entire team. There's 1 wounded guy. The gunner's wounded and not dead. Everybody else is dead or incapacitated. Matrix got some morale boost. They needed that. But yeah, I mean, it was a bloodbath at the start, and that was just my decisions to just charge them in there. Rambo got a kill and 4 bravery, 3 cowardices. I'm sure after you lose half your team, you're going to panic. Garcia, 4 kills, 6 bravery, 3 cowardice. Quellis, we got 1 kill. And then everybody else was kind of static or in the back, so probably not a lot there. Jorge actually did get 2 kills. I'm a little surprised. Okay, so even though they took a beating, those indiscriminate shots I told him to take did work. John Matrix got 2 hits with those mortars, with the rockets. That's a wonderful thing. Mulligan got 2 hits with the mortar. So our support elements did actually help here. They did do some stuff and took some pressure off our boys. In the metal department, we've got wound badges, of course. We got a lot of wound badges. Rambo got 5. Garcia got 4. Quellis, let's see. Nothing down there. Munat, Steiner, Hugh Jorgen should have a few. Yep. Let's see. We got Jorge Castillo. Jorge got a few wound badges. But that's it as far as medals go. Nobody else really earned anything besides a wound badge. So I have an idea here, and I think I want to do a shorter video and finish at this point. I have some notes to take with me into the next battles, and I expect, even though my patience will be tested, that the next couple battles might end up being longer ones. So in the next video, let's hope I start out better, and that would be all on me, so that's my fault. But let's hope I start out better and preserve my force with a little bit more caution. This is where things are getting nasty, like you all said. So I do need to adapt. And I see what you mean. And once the tables are turned and they're pushing back on us, this is going to be a lot worse. So for right now, we're going to stop and start the next battle with new tactics, new ideas, and a new strategy. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Ducky out.